Welcome to episode 12 of The Fellowship. My name is Adam Hawk. This is my resident guest, Ryan Engle. We're so excited to be back. We took last week off because we were planning the Nation Derby, and we just did that this weekend, which, you know, is why it's why we're dressed in island garb.
Because I'm an island boy.
He just heard that song this weekend and didn't stop
blew
singing
my mind.
in it. Yeah, blew his mind. And it's been stuck in my head ever since, just hanging out with him. But here's the deal. This episode is a special edition. It's going to be rather self-indulgent. We are going to recap the Nation Derby while it's fresh on our mind. It deserves that kind of attention.
This show's Adam's idea because it was his first derby and he's all excited about it.
I am all excited. It was so much fun. And we actually have a guest that we're going to bring on to help us relive the weekend on Catalina Island.
The guest was basically our MVP of the weekend. One who indulges in the fellowship the most and violently makes fun of those who don't.
And maybe we'll get to the violent mockery of those that did not.
Because a little quick tip for you guys at home, the winners aren't going to be joining us today, so
That's
could
okay.
be a topic of discussion.
In my opinion, we do have a winner joining us today. So let's go enjoy the fellowship and do the Nation Derby recap episode.
We're out of ice.
Actually, extremely excited for this episode.
Okay, Adam.
I am. Hey, thanks for being here. I don't know where else you would be. This is half your show and you work here and you own the company. But
Half my show, huh?
yeah, well, thank you for being here. There is so much to talk about. I almost don't know where to start. But the first thing I do want to say is this is a borrowed shirt. I'm borrowing it from you. And found some earplugs in the front pocket. Were you at some kind of rock and/or roll concert and needed some ear protection? What's this about?
Last time I was wearing that shirt, we were up in the hills on some private land in Maui, and we were shooting some massive rifles.
Oh,
So we were blowing shit up, so that's why I had earplugs.
okay. That makes sense.
That being said, I wish instead of those earplugs, I had actual shooting fucking,
over the ear
noise
protection?
canceling
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was loud as can be. But
I bet.
Yeah, so there's if you went through TSA security right now, you'd probably get flagged for gunpowder in that shirt.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
We're coming back from what I would say was the most fun weekend I've had in a long, long time. The Nation Derby, 7th annual Catalina. The infamous, yes.
Nation Derby.
This is a tournament you've been putting on for 7 years. There was a lot of pent-up anticipation for this one because COVID canceled the last one. This was my first time going out. This was my first time. This was my first time coming out, and I can't speak highly enough about it. Now, I think we have to do a thing where, as we catch up about it, we kind of have to pull everyone into what the weekend was, or else it's just going to be a bunch of inside stuff. But essentially, it's a tournament on Catalina Island. You have to get on a boat to go out there. So you've got about 40 guys that are all staying in hotels that are within a block of each other. It almost feels like a compound. It feels like Nation Golf took over the island. The day of the tournament, it's a crazy format, alternate shot, derby, elimination after 3 holes. Horse race.
Called a horse race.
And just mayhem. And it's one of these interesting things where, we always say that the golf comes second, if not third, to what we're doing here. The golf is so far down the list on what makes that weekend special. Don't get me wrong, the golf is great, but it's not really, you're not going to go out there and hit 75 to 80 shots. You might hit 7 or 8.
Right. I mean, I exactly right. As far as actual golf is concerned,
Yeah.
or considered, I mean, you potentially could go there with all that being said and lose on the first cut and hit 3 golf shots.
Right. And
with putts included.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Well, maybe not 3, because if you're losing the first 3 holes, you're probably throwing up 3 snowmen, so
Yeah.
3, 6, 9. You might hit 9 golf shots.
9 terrible ones.
Terrible ones.
Yeah.
So
This is one of those things where when I left, I wish that everyone in the world could come experience it.
Well, I think what's great about the Derby is it's truly, as far as our company motto and identity is, as far as enjoy the fellowship, it's truly the only tournament that really for those who are willing to come, that pressure of the fellowship, like the want and the need to hang out with the boys that weekend, it's the only thing that really has a grasp to like push you over the edge, because essentially, like you said, the golf is secondary. It's all about hanging out with the boys because, it's a rinky-dink thing. You have to take the boat over there. You're forced to at least stay one night. Most of the hotels make you stay 2. There's dive bars everywhere. Everyone's stuck together. There's no escape.
Yeah.
You come together, you leave together. It's truly a fellowship experience. So it's ironic when certain people who have come for a number of years win for the first time. And hello?
Is that my phone? Oh yeah, I'll get that later. Yeah. So some people come and they win for the first time,
and don't participate fully. So
participate outside of the golf.
Yeah, because that's really where all the experiences are. I texted Craig and Colin after the weekend because we were kind of with each other for the most part on Friday night, and I was just like, man, what a fucking hoot! Like the greatest thing about the Derby is hearing all the stories the next day of where everyone fucking went and what happened. Because it's just like Catalina is like it's very Vegas in the sense that you kind of like lose your way there. It takes all your cookies, you make bad decisions, there's nowhere to hide, and then you can't wait to get the fuck out.
Yeah, it's definitely as Vegas is, it's a 48-hour town. Anything past that, you're dancing with the devil. I got the feeling when I left, the same feeling you get when you go to like a destination wedding. Hard to get to. As soon as you get there, you've never been happier, and you see those same 70 people for 72 straight hours, and it's amazing. And you come in on the boat with a handful of people, and then when you're leaving, you see them, and they're wrecked from the 2 nights of partying, and everyone had a great time. What was your favorite, if you had to, what was your favorite moment, if you had to pick one, favorite moment of the weekend?
God. I think dancing at Club Chi on Friday night. You know how dance clubs can be. They're always there. They're always doing the same thing for the most part. But depending on the crew you're with, the level of buzz you have going in, the music as it's playing as far as, the mix or whatever, and just the energy, it could be like all time, really cool, whatever, or a dud,
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Friday night, which I was kind of bummed because we were like, oh, Club Chi, we're going Saturday to like back it up. And we had fun regardless because everyone's shit-faced. But, Friday night, for those of us who were there, I woke up walking like Phil Jackson on Saturday morning.
Oh.
I was hurting, I was just like, go Bert!
Yeah.
Fucking, I couldn't even move, dude. I felt like my calf muscle was detached from my body,
Yeah.
But, fuck, that was a lot of fun. And there's just so many little things. Like, there's a little food stand outside of Club Chi where you can get tacos and quesadillas and shit, at like 2 in the morning, and you walk by and you hear people, doing karaoke and it's awful, and you're drinking Buffalo's Milks at Luau Larry's, and you're just stumbling around. And everywhere you go, you step outside every bar and you look one direction or the other, and you see a bunch of Nation Derby guys like, and so like the energy is just ongoing, and so man, it's just one of those things. It takes a lot out of you, but you get a lot out of it.
Absolutely,
yeah. So,
I couldn't pinpoint my favorite moment because the entire trip was so much fun. Friday night was great. You, your wife, me, and my wife.
I could pick your favorite moment for you.
Are you going to talk about when I rubbed the stomach of the statue? Is that my favorite moment?
It wasn't the stomach. It was the penis of a statue.
Oh, okay. Let's get to that in a second. Bookmark that. The Friday night, our 2 families had a private dinner at Luau Larry's. You introduced me to the Wiki Whacker and the Buffalo's Milk. Incredible drinks at Luau Larry's. Then we went over and met the whole group at the Marlin Club. The Marlin Club is
doesn't like the Marlin Club?
The Marlin Club is just an amazing place just to drop anchor and talk while drinking beer.
Marlin Club is such a classic bar in the sense that it's really a standing room. Like, you can get a belly up seat, but if you're belly up, you're not interacting with everyone. It's a place where everyone stands around and just yells at each other in the face.
Yeah, it's great.
Because it's fucking loud, and you're drinking cocktails, and, if there were a super spreader on Earth, it'd probably be there.
And thank goodness there wasn't.
Yeah.
One of our friends, Tony, put $100 in the jukebox. Craig went there and dropped like 1,000 Morrissey songs on the entire bar. Then we went to Club Chi. They were playing amazing music Friday night. Not so much Saturday night, but it was still a great time. And Saturday, you and I got up early. We went, met a dinghy that Steve Taylor drove over, brought all the gear up the hill, set it up, sat down and relaxed for about 2 seconds before everyone started walking up the hill for check-in. All of a sudden, the whole group's here. The event's about to happen. And then your wife, who's playing in the event, the first ever female to play in the event, she played with Mary Taylor. You made her tee off first.
We had so many guys puss out last minute. Which is just like, some of them had good excuses like health issues. So
we would call those reasons.
Those are reasons. The others were, flat tire kind of shit. And it's like, I would have respected you more if you just said, you know what, we blew it. It's already booked. We can't even fucking find a place.
Yep.
Which I'd be like, well, there's campgrounds. So if you really feel the fellowship pushing you over the edge, you would come. Because there's plenty of guys who say, I mean, over the years, we've had guys just show up and like, you can find a spot somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it. So anyways, there were so many guys who pussed out. All of a sudden, as the days got closer, my wife and Steve's wife, Mary, who play a little golf with us sometimes, were like, what if we played? What if we played? And I said, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want to play? Jump in.
Yep.
Take a spot. I'd rather have the thing have an even number of teams, so the cuts go through and whatever. And the whole time, Katie Kai's like, "Oh, I don't want to hit the first shot in front of it. Like Mary, you hit it, and you're better with the driver and this that." And I told Steve, I was just like, "Ain't nobody hitting the first female tee shot in one of these tournaments if it's not my wife."
Yeah. Yep.
She didn't know that. We kept it from her. I sprung it on her last minute in front of everyone. She gave me a look like she's never going to touch my wiener again. And she kind of pushed it right, but she hit it over the ravine, over the street.
Yeah.
It's a really stressful tee shot for an amateur golfer.
Yep.
And she pulled it off. I had faith in her. I knew she was going to step up to that moment and do it. And I think years from now she'll look back and really relish in the fact that she was able to do that.
Yeah.
But right now she's, violently upset with me.
And look, I can see
anybody who goes to the Derby and doesn't come home with their significant other violently upset with them probably didn't do it right.
Well, then
I think we're going to have to mention a couple guys who didn't.
I did it very right then. But on that tee shot that you made your wife hit in front of everyone, I just want to say a few things about it. Number one, I know the stress and anxiety of hitting golf shots in front of people. It's well documented on this show, The Fellowship, that is my Achilles heel in life. So I felt for her in that sense. In the other sense, when you sprung that upon her and surprised her, I understand as a man what you're doing there. You're giving her this moment, you're giving her this stage, and you know that she is going to get a round of applause afterwards and have a memory the rest of her life. However, women are different than men, and they don't view it as that. They seem to always forget our intentions. So it was more just like, hey, I could have been so embarrassed if I didn't get the ball over the road. You could have done that to me and embarrassed me. And my wife, who I rode with in a golf cart throughout the tournament, was like, hey, Katie Kai's upset with Ryan. And I was like, why? And she's like, because he made her hit and it could have gone really bad. I'm like, but it didn't. And now she's got this memory the rest. He was giving her the stage. Like, that's a gentleman thing to do. Like, he's giving her that moment. And she said to me, you two are exactly the same and you guys just don't get it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get it then, because I would have done the same thing to you if you were competing and I had to pick who was going first. So I thought it was a great move. I understand why she would feel that way. She put a great swing on it.
Yeah.
And by the way, she hit it better than like 10 of the other guys that teed off too.
They played great. They made the first cut. They beat, I think, 4 guys' teams. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hey, someday she'll not be mad at me.
Yeah, so the reason my wife is mad at me, and then after I tell this story, we're going to bring on our guest. My wife is mad at me because on Saturday night, and by the way, my wife can tolerate annoying drunk me for one night, but back-to-back nights is tough, so this is the second night of 2.
I'd probably be on Team Mina, too.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting down with you and Craig and Colin, and we are at Luau Larry's kicking off night number 2.
911.
The buffalo milks are flowing, the bong waters are out. We're getting ripped. You guys bring out this little statue from Luau Larry's and you say, hey, you got to rub it to get some good luck. I'm like, this is some Catalina spiritual thing. I can't wait to do it. I start to rub the stomach of the statue and all of a sudden a wooden dick pops out and I'm holding a wooden dick. Very embarrassing, but I can't wait to do it to someone next year. Yeah. I view it as a rite of passage. Yeah. And all of a sudden I get a text that says, it's from my wife, the fire alarm just went off at our hotel. We've all been evacuated outside. So she's with my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old, and your mother-in-law and your wife are outside with your baby daughter, who's 7 months. And I show you the text, and immediately you get up and do the right thing and leave. And I just blank out and don't even think to get up and follow you. And I just sit there and order another drink.
Did you, though?
Did I what?
Blank out.
Well, I didn't black out. No, come on. I just blanked out. It didn't register. My problem is I'm having too much fun.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a bad move. So I see her later that night.
She's not going to watch this. Don't worry. Just tell the truth, Hawk.
Look, I see her later that night.
You just wanted to drink another Buffalo's milk.
Of course I did. Yeah. But that's what happened is my selfishness superseded.
Well, what's great is that I went back. So not only did I look good in front of my own family, but I looked good in front of your own family.
Right. And by the way, you going back did not at all hamper your evening because you still came to the Marlin Club, you still went to Club Chi. My night would have been 100% the same. I just wouldn't have had a very upset wife who's like, hey, next time I text you that the building's evacuated and there's a potential fire and your best friend and business partner goes running back to his family and you don't, maybe you come back next time.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. No one is as good at punishing themselves as you.
It's true. Very well said.
You're your own worst enemy.
Yeah. So, I had the greatest weekend ever. It was a lot of fun. I know you did too. You did a great job with the tournament. Everyone owes you a debt of gratitude for putting it together. One of the guys that was there has been a guy that's been on the show before. People love this man for walking straight into the boom mic setup. Hopefully he doesn't do it this time. I think I just gave it away. His name is Geoff Extreme Overstreet. Come on in, buddy.
Come on in, Geoff.
Chill in.
Can I pour you a drink?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Can I pour you a drink?
How you doing?
Yeah.
Hawk, I got this little bottle of Grand Cuvée Blanc de Blanc.
Oh, I left that in my room.
And you can get it at aisle 6 at Albertsons.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
And I'm going to go underneath here, Nick.
What a great gift.
So, thank you, sir.
A little limbo for you before you sit down.
I noticed you had put some blue tape on the microphone that I saved.
It was there before.
That was a good save.
Yeah, it was a good save. Have a seat.
Great.
Get comfortable.
Oh, yeah. Let me just squeeze under here.
It's so good to see you again. This is your second time as a guest, but your third time being here. You just dropped off some champagne. This was in our hotel rooms this weekend. Very nice hotel, Hotel Atwater. First 2 champagnes are complimentary.
God, I will say that. I stayed in some dodgy joints over in Catalina, and we stayed at the Atwater, and
That is...
it was nice.
Yeah,
It was nice.
that
They
was a
recently redone, too.
Great
But,
location.
Yeah, great location.
Cheers,
right next
gentlemen.
To Club Chi. Oh, you're going straight to Champagne. Good for you, Hawk.
Yeah. I like the personal bottle, too. Just drink it like a Perrier or something. It's
It should
fantastic.
come with a little brown bag.
That's delicious.
Yeah, it should.
Isn't it
Delicious.
delicious?
By the way, you look great. Excellent outfit. Island attire. You clearly got the memo.
Because I'm an island boy.
So,
286.
in the introduction to today's episode, which is a special edition 7th Annual Nation Derby recap, Ryan Engle referred to you as the MVP of the weekend. Ryan, why don't you tell us what made Geoff Extreme Overstreet the MVP of the weekend?
Well, I mean, this probably sounds awful, but Geoff's a great bar guy. He's just a great bar guy. He's good at conversation, never confrontational, dependable if something does happen, but good vibes, good times, not afraid to pick up a tab, have drinks, can talk to anyone. And I think you're most comfortable when you're in that environment. And,
Absolutely.
And I think that you carry the flag of what we're doing, and you're such an integral part of our posse that it just kind of brings the vibe where we go, and whether it's shooting pool, dancing, having drinks, talking, getting some Buffalo's milks, whatever. But
We had a great group of people this week.
Oh, man.
It was...
Geoff tells me yesterday on the phone, and he goes, so stoked to have met Eric and Brandon this trip and get to know them well. You guys tied one on the first night till 7 a.m.
Yes.
And Brandon was a great
addition.
He's played in it before, but he's
Another
now
good golfer.
gotten it. Like when we finished and went to the Sand Trap, he was buying pictures of margaritas for the boys.
Yeah.
These guys just get it. They were flying the fellowship flag high. And to just hear that and to know that, and on top of it, to have you be the leader in the clubhouse on calling out those who weren't flying the fellowship flag high.
Well, I like that.
Really got you to be the MVP of the weekend.
Well, it's too bad because, the two guys that didn't show up to the after party that won the tournament are our good buddies.
Yeah.
Who play with us every Wednesday. And
who seem to show up to bars on Wednesday after they win tournaments.
All the time.
Yeah.
So we might dedicate a few minutes to them.
Do you guys want to do that now? Because you can.
This is
Now,
your show.
okay, well, here's the thing. While it is my show, I will kind of step out of this for a couple of reasons. Number one, first off, we're talking about the champions, Matt Gillis and Matthew Shadbolt.
Yeah.
Shadbolt has been on the show before. He started some drama with Kelly Slater. Thank you for the click, Shaddy.
Love that.
Also, I love Shaddy, and I love Gillis. Gillis has not been on the show before, but Gillis, to me, is just the sweetest human being on the face of the earth, and I love hanging out with him. And I went around the entire island Friday night telling everyone these two are going to win the tournament because I just wanted to get on record with it. So I told everyone that.
Yeah.
And they won.
Great
Tell
golfers.
me that.
I told you. You were gone Friday night. And
We were?
Gillis had one of the most brass tee shots on number 9 that stuck it like 6 feet, and then he made birdie to win it. It was probably the best way a tournament could end. Him and Shaddy were wearing matching Nation hard collars. It was just, hey, if anyone's going to win, it's these guys.
I think they were wearing matching shorts, too.
Yeah, they were real short.
Yeah.
Have I had something on my face the entire time? I just wiped something off my face.
No, you look great.
Okay, great.
You look great. Your foundation's not running.
Yeah, thank you. So I love these two guys. They're great golfers. They looked great. I would expect champions of the event to make kind of a champions tour, maybe Saturday night. I didn't see them out there, and you guys are much closer to them than I am. So I'm going to recuse myself from this, but I know you guys have some thoughts on them not being there.
Well, I'll say this. I know they weren't snorkeling. They definitely weren't going on hikes.
No.
And we all now know they weren't at the bars.
Correct.
The question remains, where the fuck were those guys all weekend?
It's a place, you have your room. You don't need to be in your room, right, with your significant other all the time.
Yeah, this isn't Valentine's
Right?
Day.
I mean, we get it. You want
the
to crush
Nation
buns
Derby.
all day and all night. I get it. But your boys are here, and, I rented a house with my good friend Matt DeVez and his wife. We invited about 5 or 6 people over every night to go hang out. We pre-partied. We're getting weird.
Yeah.
And that's what this trip's about. Guys ended up on my couch. I think one guy slept in my bed. The other bed. And
Nice guy, though.
Nice guy, though, yeah.
Nice
And
guy.
you know what? That's what it's about, It's Catalina. It's the people out there are kind of like people in the desert. They're just a little bit odd.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just remember us getting to the Chi Club, and I'm looking around. I'm like, 1, 2. I'm like, where's the champions? Mm-hmm. Where's the guys that just won?
Yeah.
So it's a little frustrating, and I'll be giving them shit for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And
Well, you made the big claim thus far that they're on a 1-year probation
Yes.
for their actions, that they're not invited back next year. So that we might have to run that through the committee, because winning and
I believe that
not
might
showing up.
it's there. There's some semi-bylaws to this thing, and that may have to be put in.
That may have to put in the invitation.
Yeah.
We might need to include some literature in there to make mandatory bar crawl, attendance.
Yeah, that's the most fun part of the weekend.
Yeah.
Now,
It is the weekend.
Now, I say this as a non-biased person in what you guys are talking about, but to paint the picture for the audience who has not been to Catalina Island, there is no reason to not, like, you walk down, it's not like you have to get in an Uber, a taxi, or anything. You walk
Correct.
out your front door of literally any place you're staying in Catalina, a house, a hotel, a damn tent, a boat. You are in the action with everybody, and everybody is in one of three places: Luau, Larry's, Marlin Club, or Chi Club. You're going to find all 50 people like that, and you're not going to burn 15 calories doing it. So in your mind, is there no excuse for not being out there?
That's correct. And they have these, variables, I call them, or, relationships that they're in, and I get it. Relationships are tough. I've never really been in one, but I can understand that they're tough. So, they have this whole thing and what's going on, but you know what? Come out at least for an hour.
Yeah.
Right? At least an hour.
The fact that there was zero face shown was pretty mind-boggling looking back, and I don't really know what to make of it.
Yeah. And I'm going to see them tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good round.
Okay, so tomorrow, people are going to be watching this on a Thursday, or it drops on Thursday. They can watch it whenever. We're taping this one day ahead of the famous Wednesday group that all three of us play in.
Yep.
You play in it more than anyone in this room. You're there practically every week.
I'm in the premier group.
You're in the premier group. Shaddy and Gillis are there.
They're in the premier.
Shaddy and Gillis won it. Shaddy and Gillis didn't show up to hang out. What are you going to do tomorrow when you see them?
Well, I've got a few different options, but tricks will be played. And Shaddy loves that about me. Mm-hmm. Gillis is the kind of guy where he kind of expects that from me.
Yeah.
So he's going to be used to it. So, but Shaddy kind of gets a little twisted at times, and I know And you know what? And that's what I love about him, though, too.
Well, and I would also say that all of this is coming from a place of love. Yeah, I don't think you guys, if two people had won the event that you didn't really care about, had not come out, it'd be like, oh, whatever. But these are two of your very best friends, both of you guys.
They're the guys.
They're the guys.
Yeah.
So I think maybe...
Not only that, backing up a little bit, I think they've been in the finals 2 or 3 times.
Absolutely.
So this was like their coming out party.
Yeah.
Like they finally got it done. That they got over the hump. They won the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But they turned their coming out party into a staying in party.
Yeah. Wet blankets.
Okay. Now, I don't think...
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Wet blankets.
I think... It's less, you guys can both answer this, it's less about them winning the event and not coming out, and more about the fact that you guys absolutely love these two people and they didn't come out.
Yes. And, we're in the Marlin Club.
Marlin Club.
And I'm counting my guys, I'm ordering shots. And Gillis is, he's a tall guy, he's about 6'4".
Handsome, too.
Handsome dude. Shaddy's about 5'1". And so I couldn't, and I'm looking around, I'm looking up and down, and I'm like, shot. I'm like, where's the champions? Nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about going to their hotel room.
We were all texting them, calling.
Is that right?
We're getting ghosted.
Yeah. So, I was
then we tried to give them the leg up and be like, come on the show tomorrow. Oh, I'm busy.
Yeah, and that took
So
it to the next level.
For this too,
Yeah. So then instead of them being here, it's probably better than I am here. But.
Well, I do want to make it clear, because in broadcasting, you do like to tell the audience that you extended an invitation to people that are being talked about. It's fair and balanced journalism, and so everybody knows, there was an invitation to both Shaddy and Gillis. I only spoke with Gillis, and I think he has a good reason for not being here today. And
he told me he was running around.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a little stage fright, you know how big this thing is. So,
Well, you made it that way.
Great point.
You did put us on the map.
Thank you.
I don't think they would have bought a drink that night had they come out. I think people are going to see them and instantly recognize them as the champions and buy them.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So what's your take? You think they were just tooled out, like they drank too much and they went to sleep?
I don't...
Because what's the excuse for Friday? How do you not come out on Friday night, at least for a couple drinks?
Yeah, and that's really the easy night, really. Because everyone's over, we take the boat across, you have a few drinks, and that's one of the best parts, is actually the boat ride over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it happened to be the most beautiful weekend ever. Mm-hmm. We're buying drinks on the boat, I met some weird dudes. I probably had 5 or 6 beers.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's about, meeting people.
Yeah.
Was there like a Matlock, like fucking
marathon on a night?
It was-
this weekend that I didn't know about?
It was Columbo.
Columbo?
Yeah.
MASH?
You did ask me for my take, and I'll say it, and I'm not trying to weasel out of it. My disappointment stems solely from the fact that I love these two guys and would have loved to have shared some of those Friday and Saturday night memories with them, just because they are so much fun to be around. It's less about them winning it. That said, because they have not come on the show to talk about it, I am not in a position to put words in their mouth or make assumptions, whereas you guys are so tight with them that this is a good spot for you guys. I'm just here to listen and absorb. That's where I come out on it.
Yeah, I wasn't even listening to what you're saying, but one more thing that I will say is that, my chick was there, your chick was there,
All night.
Nikki was there.
Yeah.
Who else's chick was there?
Steve's chick was there.
Steve's chick was there.
You know.
Tony Bacardi.
Tony Bacardi's chick was there.
Yes.
So the whole chick was there thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, they didn't come out to hang out with the chicks either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
By
it's
the
like-
way, the girls held their own this weekend.
Oh, my
in
God.
Oh, they did great.
Oh, my God.
In
your
every
wife
respect.
and Mary, I mean, they had some great shots.
Yeah.
They
Like-
but outside of the golf,
Oh, even at the bars.
yes,
at the bar.
Callie, very fun to hang out
Callie
with.
was there, yeah.
Mary, got to spend some good time with her.
Yeah.
Eunice,
Eunice.
Tony's girl,
Yeah.
great to spend some time with.
Yeah.
I got to spend some time on the golf course for the first time in my life with my wife, which was really cool because she got to see like, hey, what is this all about? You know,
Yeah.
Because she's not a player, so she's not going to come play. This is the first time that she got to
Players
see
play.
like what
Yeah.
it looked like, and she's like, okay, I kind of get why everyone's so into this. You're just outside drinking and having fun, and she was driving a golf cart. I shit you not. She asked me this question when she got in the golf cart for the first time. She said, "Can I drink in here?" Which, how like hilariously naive is that? Like the whole point of the golf cart is to drink and drive.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is why people love golf. It's legal DUI.
Yes.
You're on a playground in a cart with beer.
Golf is vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you step on the golf course, there is no clock,
We're cruising.
cocktails,
Yeah.
all
And
hours of the day.
I think
Drink and
the
drive.
owner of the course was even hanging out
Oh,
with
yeah.
us.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Good
he
to
was
meet
drinking.
him.
Mac.
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 Yeah.
Nice little Texas accent.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was a good old boy, and,
Yep.
and he was stoked to have us and walk around. The marshal would come out. I mean, Catalina's so special and such a perfect venue for the Derby because
Yeah.
you can get away with murder at the bars. The golf course is inviting. They love the shit show aspect of what we do. It's really a place where everyone lets their hair down and connects. And it's truly a melting pot for the fellowship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think, not to beat a dead horse, but man, if you're winning the Derby, for all the viewers at home,
Yeah.
don't go back to your hotel room.
Yeah. And if you win, you'll see me there.
What was, if you had to pick one moment? I asked this to Ryan. If you had to pick one moment, what was your favorite moment of the weekend?
Oh, man. Jeez.
Well, we found out that deer at 5 o'clock in the morning don't like carne asada.
If you had watched my videos,
Yeah.
you'll notice on the first night, you know, there are deer that come out, you know, from 2 to 6 a.m.
Yeah.
walking the streets, and we had gone to the Mexican place right out. I mean, these guys are literally there at 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. every day. So we're walking out of the Cheat Club, and Brand was like, let's get some food. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And we're walking back to our hotel. I'm eating my taco. I might have had a few drinks. And, you know, apparently they're vegetarians. Who knew?
The deer?
The deer.
Yeah.
You could have thrown off the entire ecosystem by feeding them meat.
Yeah.
You know, there are
It's like Old Yeller getting his first taste of blood.
yeah,
You
there
know?
are buffalo. There are buffalo on Catalina Island that have no business being there. They were brought over for a movie, and then they started humping and reproducing.
They love it there.
and now there's buffalo
They
in
love
Catalina Island. I wonder what you would have. You probably would have mutated deer by giving them something that they don't eat.
You know, in one of the comments too, it might have been your wife and it might have been that other lady, but she's like, we ran out of beer. We had 800 beers. And I said, welcome to Catalina.
My wife's job was driving around a golf cart with, I would put it, an industrial-sized cooler. Like, there are coolers,
Yes.
and then there's this thing.
Yes.
This thing was, like, 6 feet long. It had 800 beers in it, and we ran out by the 7th hole. And so
I prepaid for a 12-pack of beer for every player.
Every player.
And we ran out on the 8th hole, 7th hole.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just kind of tells you the kind of formula and action that's going on this course.
Yeah, it's
with everybody.
everyone stayed in their shoes on the golf course.
Yeah.
It's not like a bar stool yard sale. It's not a frat party. It's just guys just going at it as hard as they can, but still having kind of like the maturity to like not be pissing all over each other or running each other over the carts. It's the classiest lowbrow party ever.
Yeah. And it's great because we have the desert golf tournament, and you don't get to really hang out with everybody there because everyone's staying in a hotel or here or renting an Airbnb. You get to hang out at everybody minus the champions. You're talking story, having a good time, floating back from the Chi Club, Marlin Room, and it's great.
My favorite part is there are no cars involved all weekend, which means you're drinking nonstop and you don't have to worry about a thing. You're going to get to the next spot without walking very far and without getting busted and without endangering lives. It's very cool. I told you at Luau Larry's, and I did not mean this to disparage the Classic at all. I've only been to one Classic and I've been to one Derby, but I was like, hey, I really fucking like this Derby, man.
Yes.
It's unbelievable how cool it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's so nice. I mean, you
should play in it next year, Hawk.
Hobson.
Yes, I did not play this year. I chose to work the event.
Well, there's 2 guys on probation, so you might be able to come in.
2 spots, ironically, just opened up. So
yeah, I will play next year. I will. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. The frisbee.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
Hawk is team 1A.
Oh yeah,
for next year's Derby on Catalina.
Yes. I'll even hit that damn tee shot first in front of everybody.
Yeah, and all these excuses from guys, hey, can't make it, and reasons. I had 2 extra couches. My 2 buddies came out for a night.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Yeah.
You need a place to stay? Give me a call.
Yeah.
I believe
somebody's got my number here. Give it to them.
Yes,
Yeah.
And
we're all there to have a good time.
You are a very giving human being, so I believe that. Let's do a few shout-outs, all right? Let's isolate some people who just really crushed it this weekend. Craig Dunlap.
Craig's
just a solid guy all around.
Corona Colin was a hoot this weekend. Obviously, my wife putting up with all the bullshit, and Johnny Q, who's our local friend there, who helps set up coordinates everyone. He wasn't there this year because he had a wedding to go to, but huge shout out to him and his family for always taking care of us. Veronica at the Sand Trap.
Yeah.
She always takes care of us really well.
I'm still feeling those carne asada nachos.
That was quite the plate.
Big shout out to Steve and Mary Taylor and their family for helping out with some boat transfers and the gear and just all the boys, for keep coming to get together.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of return players there. I would say 75% of the group is pretty consistently the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's like onesie twosies that come in and out. But man, watching everyone, just like I said, let their hair down and soak up that experience. That just puts the biggest smile on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The golf is fun and it's wild and everyone's out there together, and as the holes transpire later in the round, you can see the competitive juices flowing. It's a little tighter, which makes it suspenseful. And we did a fun little aggregate on the last hole.
That was really cool.
Yep.
I thought that was exciting for everybody, and we finished in record time, way ahead of schedule. And
we flew through this time.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
But lesson here, kids, is if you fucking come out to one of our events and you hibernate after victory,
be prepared to get crushed.
Yeah.
All right.
We're rewriting the bylaws.
Yeah.
And we're gonna right these wrongs.
Yeah, and maybe there's this feeling, and Gillis and Shaddy wouldn't have it, but maybe there's this feeling that the nation tight crew is standoffish to other people. Maybe an outsider's perspective could be these guys have all the friends they need and they're not looking to add any. Blatantly untrue.
100%.
This group is extremely outgoing and accepting of everyone, and it was so much fun to take groups of 40 from bar to bar to bar, and people buying each other drinks and just becoming really tight, good, close friends over the weekend. I bonded really hard with Tony Bacardi. Now, I'm going to say something, and I'll text him after this to make sure it's okay. And if it's not, I'll bleep it out. But when we afterwards,
You hitting on his girl again?
no, and I have never done that before. Okay.
That's not what I heard.
Welcome to Catalina.
Yeah.
What are you saying, huh?
Yeah. So at the Sand Trap, which is the after dinner place, tacos and margaritas, Tony Bacardi told me that he was on some certain medication that he shouldn't have alcohol on. And I was like, wow, okay. And then he literally said the words to me, so if I die this weekend, peace. That's what he said. Said it as a joke, and I laughed,
Pretty manly joke.
It is. And I'm like, whoa, this dude's literally tap dancing on razor blades.
Have we
Good
checked
for
on him today?
Well, here's
Checked
the thing.
on him on Sunday morning, and we had an A-OK. But
So that was around 5 o'clock at night when he said that. But everything sticks with me that people say. I remember it forever. And this, I could have a million Buffalo's milk and I'm still going to remember it because when we come out of Chi Club after like shutting it down at 2 a.m. or whenever it was, out of the corner of my eye, Bacardi, who is a very built dude, probably 6'3", it would take a lot to get him, to keel over, but he was...
Was that the big guy that was... Sorry to interrupt, Hawk.
in the bushes.
Was that the big guy that was every shot was like, yeah, yeah?
No.
You remember that guy?
No, that guy was fired up.
Care
about it!
Yeah.
That guy was just... I'm like, this must be his first Catalina.
Yeah.
I thought he was getting like an Arkansas Razorback or something.
Yeah. So, but Bacardi, though, the last time I saw him on the island, he was folded over inside a planter box. Like,
wonderful.
And it didn't look good.
Did you help me put him in the cart?
No.
Was that you?
No.
Thanks for your help.
I couldn't help myself at that moment.
We know, dude.
So,
Nick, we're gonna cue in some fucking footage.
Yeah, we will. We will.
And not
Apologize for the grainy cell phone shit, but
Yeah.
Adam Hawk looked like he not only saw a ghost, but turned into one.
I did. Yeah. But, dude, to see a guy of his size...
This is good.
Planking in a bush after telling me if he drinks on these meds, he's going to die... It was beyond startling. It wasn't like funny, like, oh, that dude's hammered. I was like, my man, is he dead?
Yeah.
And the greatest thing that ever happened to me was getting on the boat the next day and seeing Tony Bacardi walk in. And I was like, he lives, dude. He lives. The guy is still standing.
He's here.
Can't take him out. But spent a lot of good time with Tony. Great dude. And really happy that he made it out of there alive. Yep. Happy I made it out alive. Happy you guys made it out alive.
Well, your only chance of dying was your wife putting, antifreeze in your Gatorade.
Yeah. Well,
so.
And she might have Saturday night.
Yeah. I thought about doing the Visine on a few guys, but we ended up being best buds. Yeah. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It turned out great.
I get your next drink.
Yeah. How does that taste? Yeah. Gotcha.
So this was a rather self-indulgent episode because it's us three talking really inside about an event that just a select few amount of people get to go to. But I would say this, to the people that get to go, I mean, these are memories you'll have forever. This is incredibly special.
Yeah.
I get it now because I saw it the last time you were on the show. We talked about it a lot because it was ramping up. And I couldn't put two and two together because I'd never seen it. I've seen it now. It's amazing. And to the people listening that haven't gone, my God, are you going to want to get on those signups next year?
Yeah.
We're
gonna grow it. We got it now to a point where the timing is working in our favor. We have plenty of daylight. So we're going to take 5 more groups, 10 more guys.
Yeah.
We're going to make it a full 50 field.
I thought we were moving pretty quick too and around the greens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's all we need is when the bulk of the guys are moving, then if there are a few laggers, it kind of makes up for it. So I think next year, this time, There's going to be 50 lucky motherfuckers that are going to be over in Catalina Island.
Yeah. And I can't wait.
I mean, it's just such a great weekend, man. It's so much fun.
And before we end it, I know that this is innocuous small talk, but you guys have been to all of them. What was the weather like this weekend compared to the others? Because I can't picture better weather.
This was
81 degrees.
Steve's father-in-law, who has a couple boats, and they've been going to Catalina for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at Descanso Sunday morning in a little cabana drinking Bloody Marys. And he just said, this is it. Best weekend of the year.
Wow. Best weekend of the year.
Yeah, I mean...
Best weather. Absolutely gorgeous.
It was.
Crowds were a little low. You know, it was good as it gets. We scored.
One of the things, too, on the boat, before the boat ride back, we're checking out of our place, and we headed down to Coyote Joe's for a bloody. And I happened to see one of the champions.
Ooh.
And Shaddy and Gillis were sitting at the bar. And I said,
They actually made it to a bar that weekend.
They actually made it to the bar.
Wow.
So, you know, I
Sunday morning.
decided not to sit with them. And I'm sitting with Matt and his wife, Nikki, and I'm like, what could I possibly do right now? So I ordered him a triple well shot of tequila.
Whew.
Yeah. And I think it's still sitting on the bar. And
Shocker.
So that I just look over and he looks back and gives
What
me,
you did is you just paid the bar gods forward
and I
for
told
yourself, and it paid him down.
Yeah.
Yes. Coyote Joe's, by the way, Gillis's spot. He told me. I ran into him.
Great spot.
I ran into him Saturday morning. I went and got breakfast by myself.
That's where we had dinner.
Yes, we had dinner there. But on Saturday morning, I love waking up before my family on vacation and walking around outside just to get my own personal view of the land. So I walked all the way to the casino and back by myself, took a stroll, had some time to kill, went and ate at a place called Country Jack's right across the street from Coyote Joe's.
Yep.
That's where all the tourists go.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing spot, good spot. And when I came out, I saw Gillis there, and he had a lot of great things to say about Coyote Joe's, something about handmade this, homemade that.
Handmade bloodies.
Yeah, and this is where he goes.
Delicious.
It's his spot. So no surprise to see him there then. No surprise to see him Sunday morning. I also saw you Sunday morning. I was in the corner with my family eating breakfast at Coyote Joe's. Man, but what a weekend. So glad we got a chance to recap it, because when I came back, I was like, I don't want to not talk about this. We need to get this on tape. This was so much fun, and then maybe we can look back on this later. If it wasn't good for everybody else, sorry. It was great for us, though.
It was iconic. We always have great times, great stories with great people. I mean, the group this year was just amazing, actually. Yeah. You know, 2 years ago we did it, and the weather actually that time, there was thunder and lightning on Saturday night, I believe. And so to have the weather like this, you know, it was fucking perfect. Yeah.
Well, boys, let's cheers it to the island.
To the island.
Boys!
Island boys!
To the fellowship. Thank you, Geoff, for coming by.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, Shaddy and Gillis, next year, dude.
Yeah,
maybe.
thanks for blowing it.
Yeah.